Hello and welcome to this video in the Understanding the American Rescue Plan, ESSER and Current Funding series that we've got here at School Health. I'm Dr. Ray Hype, and this one is focusing in on you folks in purchasing, curriculum directors, special education directors, health and physical education coordinators, after school and summer school programs directors. So as we take a look at why this comes under all of your domains, what I want to start is the officially listed uses of the funds. Take a look at this, because when actually we get into this, we find out that the most important thing is that any of the programs that you might be purchasing, whether it be software or apps or even full-size programs, something like the OTECA Functional Skills Curriculum really comes into play here. As long as it's evidence-based, it's going to be approved through these federal funds. What we're trying to do is make sure that the students have that enrichment, but also have the ability to make up for any lost learning that may have occurred. And so what we want to do is make sure we're using those funds, but bringing in things that really work with the academic side, but also the social emotional learning side. So you see right here that it does carry over into summer programs too. So when we also take a look at some of the officially listed uses of the funds, you see that there are activities obviously that go on, but here we also talk about what might go on during long-term closures. So what does that virtual learning mean? So we're able to take a look at specific areas, including, again, the health side of things, the mental health specifically, but also planning. You know, what are we going to do during the summers? What are we going to do when we have situations where that hybrid learning needs to take place? But also realize this, we're also able to look at assessments, and then from those assessments, decide what's going to be best for our students. And when I say that, I'm talking about some things like maybe taking a look at students who are having reading difficulties. You know, something like the reader pen is a good thing to have, and that way students who might have dyslexia or other reading issues can actually follow along with text and can be doing it at home even without the internet. What about those students who have visual impairments? Something like the Orcam Read actually would work well within this construct too. Any range of assessments is going to work, again, as they're legitimate assessments. They are going to be gauging all different aspects of the students. Think about this though too, when we're looking at summer programs and we're looking at transitioning, what are those PE kits or even Special Olympics kits we might be able to get and send home with the students as we go through? Also, what we want to take a look at is the whole idea that ESSER really talks to the idea of improving IDEA, so special education directors and curriculum directors. As you're bringing things in for inclusive areas, there are additional funds that are able to be used, and they're able to be used for anything that is governed by IDEA. And what we want to recognize is, because of the uniqueness of what we've gone through, that range of technologies has grown, but also we need to be aware of this. It is not as simple as, hey, I'm just going to go out and buy a bunch of iPads. The reason that it's not as simple as that is that iPads, tablets, they're not always accessible. I know that Microsoft, I know that Google, I know that Apple have all done great things to include accessibility features within their products, but that doesn't mean that every individual can use it. So you've got to be careful when you're buying something en masse like that. They need to have apps on every device that can be used by any individual, but they also have to have the tools that allow for the access of that device too along the way. So these are some things that you want to be thinking about right off the bat. So anything curricularly that is going to support the students can be bought under these funds. Any assessments can be used, but also we want to be thinking beyond that. Think of some of our inclusive classrooms and inclusive programs. Think summer programs, but also think after school programs. I thank you for taking a look at this video. If you have some questions, please feel free to reach out to your school health rep or reach out to me.